Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless you. Hey, it's that time again. We need you to subscribe to the IUIC Phoenix YouTube page, all right? So make sure you go ahead and subscribe right now. We need your help. Shalom.
When you look in the mirror, what do you feel? Fearlessness, austerity, masculinity, godliness. But what does your beard say about you? Get definitive results with the bold, natural sense from the manly badge of dignity beard oil and ignite the king in you, because it's important to look how you feel.
Which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee.
Did you hear that? It said all these curses. Is a curse a good thing or a bad thing? Good thing or a bad thing?
It could be either or.
So a curse, how can a curse be good?
A curse will be good, like you can be blessed, you can be highly favored.
Do you know what a curse is?
Yeah, a curse could be bad too, but
how can it, I'm asking you, how can it be good?
Like me, bro, like me. In a way, I'm Muslim. Okay.
Okay.
So a curse could be good. You could be highly favored.
Give me a good curse. Give me a good curse.
Shit. LeBron James. That's a perfect example. He was curse. He was in high school. I was 3. I was 23 years old. I was 3 when he came to the league. How old is he now? He's still playing.
Okay.
That's a curse. Tom Brady.
But where's the curse at? Where's the curse at?
The curse is the longevity in their career. Their career could be over like this. We all human, bro. We all bleed the same. We all put our pants on the same. You can be cursed in a good way. Like, okay, for example, you can hit the lottery. That's a curse. Dude, that money from God, we don't know. If it's Satan, we don't know.
Okay, so
we don't know what this shit.
Let me make sure I got this right. So LeBron James playing basketball as a career, he's cursed because he's still playing.
Deuteronomy 28:16.
Read.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So God said we're gonna be cursed in the city. How we cursed in the city? We talking about bad curses. We're not talking about good curses.
1, 2.
We're talking about bad curses. How we curse in the city?
My city is fucked up. I'm from Chicago. I'm not from it.
Yeah, you from Chicago. Okay, so how will we curse? How you curse in Chicago? Give me one example.
All my dead friends.
All your dead friends. Your friends are dead. That's a curse. Being shot down in the street, more than likely by your own brother. That's a curse. Give me a curse in the city here in Arizona, in Phoenix. Huh? Drugs. Our people, the majority of our people, compared to other nations, us being on drugs the most, that is a curse. What you had? What you had? Watch this. Because you brought out Chicago, people down in Chicago. We're going to read about that in the Bible right now. Read.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5.
Read. Whose
possessors slay them.
So everybody knows that the possessors of black people are in this country are who? White folks. They brought us on slavery on slave ships here, yes or no? So it said whose possessors slay them
and hold themselves not guilty.
How many brothers and sisters have you seen on television where they get shot by the police, they had no weapons, they were unarmed, and then the policeman get off? He get off scot-free, or he get a movie deal, huh? You see it all the time on the TV. You see that? You know about that, right?
My friend just got killed right up the street.
Your friend just got killed up the street. So you understand what we're saying, right? Is that a blessing or a curse?
Curse.
That's a curse. That's what the Bible is talking about. Cause guess what? Yeah, go ahead.
Is the curse killing or is the curse dying? Which is the curse? Because they say when we die, it's going to be a celebration.
Read this again. I'm gonna show you the curse. Read it.
Zechariah chapter 11 and verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
So the brother asked, where is the curse? Is the curse in them being killed or the curse in them dying? First of all, The curse is in the fact that you're being possessed by another people.
Right.
That's numero uno. And then you're being killed by the people that own your body and your mind. Now, hold on. You asked the question, so I'm gonna answer it. That's number 2. And then the third curse out of that is what?
And hold themselves not guilty.
That's a triple curse.
Teach y'all.
That's a triple curse because you're owned by another people like your cattle. They slay you like your cattle, and then there's no recompense. There's no payback. There's no repercussion or justice when they do that to you.
Right.
Because you are only considered 3/5 of a man in this
y'all.
country.
Teach.
That's a curse. There's no blessing in that at all. You understand that? Go back to Deuteronomy. Read.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 16.
Right.
Cursed shalt thou be in the city.
So we took over, we went over the curses in the city, the drugs, the prostitution, being shot down by police, and they get off without us getting any justice. We went over that. Read.
And cursed shalt thou be in the field.
Now, I got a question for both of y'all. How were the Native Americans and the so-called blacks cursed in the field here in America? The natives were here first, but how were they cursed in the field? Huh?
They don't get respect.
Okay, how are black folks cursed in the field? I want you to give me the answer about the natives. How are black people cursed in the field? In the field.
Field. What type of field? Trenches? What you talking about? Like what field you talking about?
Okay, all right. Do you know the history? I know you 23, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the history of blacks and natives in this country? Do you know the history? Huh?
Yeah, slavery and
Slavery. Weren't we on fields in slavery? What kind of fields? What kind of fields?
I wasn't.
Give me an example of the type of field.
Ancestors.
Yeah, okay. We talking about your ancestors. We really talking about you too, but whatever. What? Give me an example of how they cursed in the field. Because it's happening right now. As in, what's today? March 18th, 2023. Because right now we can go to California. I just came out of California yesterday, and it's Hispanics picking oranges off of orange groves that they don't even own when that used to be their land.
Right.
So they're working for less than minimum wage. A lot of them don't even have papers or nothing like that. They just trying to get by feeding their family, working in fields. That's damn near slavery today. So that's still a curse that's happening right now. Watch this. Give me 32.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32.
Read.
Break it up.
Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fell with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
What was your name again, bro? Junior, yeah, Junior. Do you know what happened to the Native Americans when the conquistadors came over here? They took a lot of the Native American children back over to Spain and the other different countries that they came from. And their parents had no physical, economical, or military might to be able to get them back. Even here in the country, they would take the children from the reservations and put them in boarding schools. And you know what they would teach them? They would teach them this. They would kill the Indian, but they would save the man. They wanted the man to work, but they didn't want that Indian, quote unquote, that savage in them, that warrior in them. Because I don't know if you know Native American history, but when the white folks came over here, they had a hard time dealing with them natives. Them natives they were slaughtering them dudes.
As the American War for Independence ended in the 1783 Treaty of Paris, Great Britain recognized United States sovereignty of all the land east of the Mississippi River and south of the Great Lakes. The native tribes living in the area, however, were not participants to this treaty. Therefore, in 1783, these tribes decided to make an alliance. Cherokee, Iroquois, Delaware, Miami, Ottawa, Ojibwa, Potawatomi, Shawnee, Wabash, and Wyandot nations formed the Northwestern Native Confederacy. Many of them, especially leaders such as Little Turtle, chief of the Miami Nation, and Blue Jacket, chief of the Shawnee Nation, refused to recognize American claims to the area northwest of the Ohio River. On the evening of November 3rd, St. Clair's force established a camp on a high hill near the headwaters of the Wabash River. A native force consisting of around 1,100 warriors, led by Chiefs Little Turtle and Blue Jacket, established a large lodging almost entirely surrounding the camp. They waited in the woods until dawn, when the men stacked their weapons and paraded to their morning meals. They then charged, surprising the Americans. The center, consisting of the Miami, Shawnee, and Lenape, first attacked the militia, who fled, running through the main camp without weapons. The regulars immediately broke their musket stacks, formed battle lines, and fired a volley into the natives, forcing them back. St. Clair led the regulars in a bayonet charge and had 2 horses shot out from under him. He received several bullet holes in his clothing and had a lock of hair shot away. The artillery was able to fire its cannons, but had little effect due to the guns being aimed too high. As a result, the artillerymen fought in hand-to-hand combat with the natives until most of them were dead. Major General Richard Butler, who was in command of the Levy Regiment, was shot twice and died in his tent. He was the first of 4 American generals killed in the native wars. The left and right wings of the Native American formation flanked the regulars and closed in on the main camp, meeting on the far side. Within 30 minutes, the 1,100 warriors had completely encircled the U.S. camp. After 3 hours of fighting, St. Clair called together the remaining officers and, faced with total annihilation, led a breakout bayonet charge. Supplies and wounded were left in camp. As before, Little Turtle's army allowed the bayonets to pass through. A Pennsylvania detachment under Major John Clark provided the rear guard for the retreat. When Clark was wounded, however, the detachment fled. With no organized defense against the pursuing Native Americans, the retreat quickly turned into a rout. St. Clair later wrote in a letter that the route was littered with discarded firelocks, cartridge boxes, and uniforms, as the fleeing army threw away any items that slowed them down. Private Stephen Littell became lost in the woods and accidentally returned to the abandoned camp. He reported that the Native Americans were all gone in pursuit of the fleeing army. The wounded who remained begged him to kill them before the natives returned. The natives continued their pursuit, killing those who fell to the rear of the retreat. After they had gone about 4 miles, they returned to loot the camp. Littell, hiding beneath a tree, reported that they ate the abandoned food, divided the spoils, and killed the wounded.
So you know what they had to do? They had to get the blacks and Hispanics to help them subdue their own brothers, the Buffalo Soldiers. We had to come over and help the white man get the Native Americans under control because y'all was a mighty men. Some of the Native Americans you seen on like some movies where they be on horseback with a bow and arrow and they lean off to the side and they shoot and they kill folks. That was real life. They were doing that for real. They was a problem. But now all they got is problems. You understand? Any typical day we go through the streets of Phoenix trying to help our people and show them who they are. You know what we see about the Native Americans? They drugged out. They bugged out. They on alcohol at 9 in the morning. Give me that in Isaiah. They on alcohol at 9 in the morning, drunk out their mind. Is that a blessing or a curse? It's a curse. Listen, there's absolutely nothing wrong with drinking alcohol in moderation. Even Christ drank wine. But when you drunk and you not sober-minded, bro, you in a cursed state. Give me that.
Book of Isaiah, chapter 5 and verse 11.
Bring it out.
Woe unto them that rise up early in the morning, and that they may follow strong drink, that continue until night.
Bro, you see that? They start in the morning, and they be turned up and lit all into the night. And they take a 3-hour nap. They get up and do that thing all over again. What are you accomplishing in a day? How How are you out helping your people if you can't even get your own mind right? That's a curse. You agree with that? You agree with being drunk all day as a curse? No, I'm asking you, do you agree that being drunk all day is a curse?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Uh-huh.
You never know what they're going through.
Right. Oh, you said we don't know what they're going. We know what they're going through. They living in America. They living in America. They got them on these little bitty reservations off in the boondocks somewhere, and then they go and put a casino on the reservation so that they can get the tax benefits from it.
What you gonna do to get out of it?
Yeah, that's the question. Here's the question to you. What are we supposed to do to get out of the current estate that we find ourselves in? What's the solution? Guess what, bro? Guess what? Nah, we don't believe that. Because guess what? The Most High put it in us to fight. He put it in us to get our minds right. But it has to be according to these scriptures right here. Give me that. Watch this.
Book of Psalm, chapter 94 and verse 16.
Read.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoer?
So you say we too deep in. That's saying, bro. So let me translate what you're saying. What you're saying is there's no way out. We in a trap. We gave up. We might as well just lay back and just float and drown into the abyss. We ain't doing that because God said this.
Who will rise up for me against the evildoer?
God is looking for men to rise up and to what? God is looking for his men, the nation of Israel, to rise up against the evildoers. So that means that we're not laying down. We're not giving up. Hold on.
Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity?
All the people that are working iniquity, working sin. Give me Jude 5. All the people that are working sin in our neighborhoods, guess what? Do you know why they keep, I'll give you an example. Why they keep the Instagram models, the TikTok models, the YouTube channels, the different shows that come on television, that Netflix, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. You know why they keep pumping this into our community? The Meg Thee Stallions, the Cardi B's into our community? Watch this, read.
Judah chapter 5 and verse 14.
Read.
It out. Yeah, verse 19. But now are they returned to their God and are come up from the places where they were scattered.
That's right.
And have possessed Jerusalem, where their sanctuary is.
Get to the point.
And are seated in it.
21.
Verse 21.
21.
Verse 21. But if there be no iniquity in their nation, let my Lord pass by, lest their Lord defend them.
What's 20? What's 20?
Verse 20. Now therefore, my Lord and governor,
here you go.
If there be any error in these people.
So guess what? If we keep them watching Love and Hip Hop, if we keep them listening to Cardi B, Lil Uzi Vert, and all these other nincompoop brothers that I can't even name, if we keep their minds into that, they're gonna stay on the drugs. They're gonna keep having baby mamas, single parent households. They're gonna keep being homosexuals. We can keep them in that if we keep them away from God. Read.
And they sin against their God.
Because all of that is sin against their God. If we can keep them in that state of mind.
Let us consider that this shall be their ruin.
And that's why you say that there's no hope for us, because when you look around, you don't see no hope for the black and Hispanic man out here. You don't see no hope for us. Because guess what? Because the workers of iniquity have kept us in this state of mind, in a perpetual state of death. But we have to come out of that. God is looking for those of us that are going to rise up out of the dungeon and the pit that we're in and do something about it.
Nation is men leading by example. family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. His word